All right, take 2 of our Fit Essentials Intermediate class. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through. We moved inside because it got a little too hot for the electronics. We're going to make our way down to hands and knees, stretching out our forearms. So palms down, rotate those hands in towards you so those fingers are pointing in. Draw your belly in, just gently lean on back. You can also do this standing like off of a tabletop, just stretching the back of those forearms, and then gently rotate side to side. Very good. From there, if you are able to sit back on your ankles, turn the soles of your feet up, gently sit back on those ankles. Start by shaking out those wrists. You can also do this seated as well. Get some good movement there, and then we'll do some little wrist circles. Circling around. And circle the wrist the other way. Fantastic. All right, we're going to be doing some Sumo Inchworms. So as you come down to all fours, you're going to make a nice wide handprint. So placing those hands down, turn the toes back under, similar start to a down dog, lifting those hips up. And now you're going to walk your hands towards your feet, engage those glutes. I want you to come all the way up to standing and raise those arms up to overhead. Feet stay nice and wide, reaching back down towards the ground, and you're going to inchworm, just like it's called, your way back out, coming to the top of the push-up. Pushing through the hands, walking your way back, making your way up to standing, engage those glutes, raise those arms up. Beautiful. And then bowing down, reaching for the ground, crawling your way back forward. Maybe one more time, nice and strong, midline strong, push to the soles of those hands, coming all the way up. Very good. And then as we make your way back down, we're going to come onto our forearms. We're going to hold a forearm plank next. And before you jump into it, I'm going to show you the variation we're going to do. It's the new one for those that have been with us. So from the forearms, holding a plank, we're going to go 30 seconds on each leg. Simply lifting the leg straight up, making sure you don't extend the back. So drawing the belly in. We'll all start together here shortly. Shake those arms out. And then coming on down, palms down, and 2, 1, begin. So holding strong. Now this leg lift should be only if you can hold a nice strong plank. If holding a plank for 30 to 60 seconds is really tough for you, then just focus on that. Don't add the complexity just yet. Good job. Once you know the movement, turn the eyes so you're looking straight down between those forearms. Continue to breathe, pulling that belly in. 5 more seconds until we switch legs. And same thing, other side. Second leg. Trying to squeeze that tush just slightly, lifting that leg off the ground. Good job. Stomach drawn in throughout, and just make sure you don't sink into those shoulders. So lifting up out of the arms. 15 seconds left. Good job. Getting that glute to fire. Continue to breathe. 5 more seconds. And 2, 1, and rest. Great job. We're going to come back into child stretch to rest. Toes together, knees divide, reach the arms straight out, and then lower those hips back. Ah, very good. Breathing nice and deep. Come on up to all fours. Let's do a few cycles of some cat-cows. Get a little bit more movement through the spine. Breathing in, lifting up through the shoulder blades, chin down to the chest, and then breathing out. Nice gentle arch, looking up and forward. Good job. Breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. 15 more seconds here, and then we're going to go right back into round 2, starting with those inchworms again. We'll go the inchworms and a second round of the forearm plank. Good job. And 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, feet nice and wide, and start to inchworm your way back, walking through the hands, engaging those glutes, pull yourself all the way up to standing, and then reaching back down. Feet are about the width of my mat. Holding strong to the belly, spreading those fingers nice and wide, returning to the top of the plank, and then push through those hands, coming back to standing. Fantastic. Reaching down, walking it out. You can start to move a little bit faster this round if you like. As soon as you come into that plank position, walking back through the hands, coming up to standing. Super. Good job. Walking it out. 15 seconds until we start our plank. So your choice if you want to come back to standing or if you want to weight down at your mat. Super. All right, coming on down. We have 5 seconds. We'll be into round 2 of those planks. Remember, we're down on the forearms. Draw the belly in, and 2, 1, here we go. Option to add that little leg lift. Toe pointing down, stomach drawn in. Really key to not arch that lower spine as you gently lift that leg. Good job. Breathing here, getting that glute to fire with that little leg lift. 10 seconds left before we switch sides. If you want to break, just come down to the knees. Continue to breathe in 2, 1. There's our 30 seconds. Second half, second leg. Fantastic. Getting some good core activation and some glute activation. We have some deadlifts coming up in the next series. 15 seconds left on this side. Focusing, make sure those hips stay level as you lift that back leg. If you need a break, drop back in a child stretch. We're all going to stretch together in 2, 1, and rest. Woo! All right. Bring your big toes together. Walk your knees nice and wide. And this time, we're going to bring the little fingers together, turn the palms up towards the ceiling, and then rock the hips back here. Breathing into the back of the body. One more breath. And release. Go ahead and spin it around. We're going to do a short stretch for the low back, and then we'll come back up to standing. So lying back, starting with that double knee to chest, hugging the legs in, and just gently rock side to side. If everything feels good there, we'll take the arms wide and go into that 2-knee twist. Both legs come to one side as you turn the head and neck, looking over the other shoulder. And then nice and smooth, shift the legs the other way. Fantastic. 1 or 2 more. Side to side. Once you even yourself out on both sides, we're going to go about 5 reps of a glute bridge. Get a little bit more opening through the front of the hips. Send the feet about hip width apart. And then nice smooth lift. Firing the back of the body, draw that chin in towards the chest, and then rest the hips down. Lifting up, chin draws in. Very good. Finish about 5 times there. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll it over and come into down dog as we make our way into standing. Make our way up to standing, rather. So hips high. For that down dog, you're going to start by gently pulsing the head between the arms. Think about guiding your heart towards your thighs. And then get a nice stretch for the calves as well, pedaling out those heels. Splendid. When you're ready, it'll be our final inchworm for this set. And then slowly coming up out of that forward fold. Great job. All right, as you make your way to standing, feel free to grab a quick drink. And then we're going to be going into some deadlifts and some push-ups. All righty. So we did a pretty good warm-up for that low back. If anyone doesn't feel ready to lift any weights just yet, you're welcome to work the top of the deadlift. We call it our good morning. We did quite a bit in our basics class to kind of warm everything up. And now those of you that are ready for a little bit of weight, you can go ahead and bring a dumbbell, kettlebell, any kind of odd objects you have to lift over right onto your mat. I can get my head in the picture as well. All right. So you're going to stand right over top of that weight or cross the arms over the chest. If you're not using weights, draw the belly in. Long spine as you bow forward. And then when you're ready, push through the feet, squeeze the glutes, standing tall. Send those hips back, bow the head down, breathing out, standing up. Good job. This is our first of 4 rounds, so pace yourself through it. We'll have options on rounds 3 and 4 if you want to turn it into more of a kettlebell swing. We'll give that option. We're going to go deadlifts the first 2 rounds. Great job. Hips back, chest in. Squeeze the glutes, pull the shoulders back, standing all the way up at the top. When you finish that rep, go ahead and rest. Fantastic. All right. Anywhere that you have to elevate yourself, or you could also work down on the ground. I'm going to try to use this into the bed here for some push-ups. Nice wide handprint. Place the hands, step the feet back. And then when you're ready, 3, 2, 1. As you lower your chest down, pull those elbows in towards the sides and make sure you don't let those hips sway forward. So hips and shoulders stack nice and strong. Try to bring your chest all the way down to either your surface or the floor if you can. And then nice and strong as you drive up and away. Good. I'm always a fan of that full range of motion and working off the toes so that you can have like your body like a moving plank if you have the space to elevate the arms. Good job. Last one, and rest. Making your way back to standing. We're going to work a little bit of some lateral steps next, starting with just a little side shuffle. So just going to side step, swing the arms a bit, and we'll get a little bit more advanced each round, but we just want to warm up these side steps. We don't go side to side very often in life. Good, just change of direction. Nice work. Nice and smooth, nice gentle arm swing at the same time. Good. 10 more seconds. And then our last exercise is going to be some cross crawl with a knee to elbow from standing. 2, 1, and transition. So for that knee to elbow, you're going to pull the elbows to the side, and then we work a little bit of balance here as well. Coming onto one leg, driving that knee up, trying to just gently make contact with that opposite elbow. Good. Breathe out as you drive that knee up. Excellent. 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and 30-second rest. All right, great job. Feel free to grab a drink. Any changes you want to make for the weight, if you have different weights to use? Let's stick with this one throughout. All right, getting ready to start back at the top with the deadlifts of round 2. Standing right over top of the weight. You could also hold one weight on either side of the body. Draw that stomach in, and here we go. Long spine. Breathing in on the down, breathing out on the up. Maybe move just a little bit faster on this round if everything's feeling good. As you stand tall, think about someone's about to see how tall you are as you stand up. So lengthen. Pull the top of your head up towards the ceiling. Squeeze that tush. And just don't overextend. Don't lean back, just standing straight up. Fantastic. Final time. Up, down, and transition. Alrighty, I'm going to take it to the floor this time. Back to push-ups. You do what's best for you. If you want to stay elevated, that's great. And I'm going to show a little hybrid version. Down on the toes, up on the knees. 2, 1, begin. So elbows still drawn in, coming down to my chest, and I'm going to come up on the knees. Squeeze that lower body. Nice and strong. Good. Eyes looking straight down at the mat. Leading with your heart and not your head and neck. Draw those elbows back. Fantastic. Good. Squeeze and lower. And continue to squeeze and drive. Maybe one more time. Everything strong. And rest. Fantastic. Coming back up. We'll move into a grapevine motion on our second round of that lateral work. If you feel a little unsteady through the knees or anything, you're welcome to keep with that side step. Otherwise, here we go. Moving side to side, getting some nice momentum through the hips and torso. Awesome. Working that agility. There you go. 15 seconds. We'll be returning to that alternating knee to elbow as our last exercise in the series. Coming up on the end of round 2. And 3, 2, 1, Switch it up to that knee to elbow. Good. Rounds 3 and 4, we're going to do the behind the back when you're reaching for the heels, but for right now, we'll keep it here. Just giving a little bit of variation. All these are considered cross crawl exercises, meaning we use both sides of the brain. Keep that connection strong. Good job. Less than 10 seconds. Also working the midline here. Good strong hip flexors, and everybody rest. All right, great work. If you are wearing the bands, because we've got a little bit of a late start, go ahead and let that air out. I'm going to pull these off about 16 minutes in, and we have 2 rounds to go. So if you have a little bit heavier weight to use, you can grab a little bit heavier weight. If you know how to do a swing, either skier swing with one weight in each hand, or I'm going to show a swing with the kettlebell. We call it a Russian swing, coming up about shoulder height. It is going to be a little bit more dynamic on the lower back. If you're having a little bit of issue or you have some chronic low back stuff, I recommend sticking with the deadlift. All right, everybody together, draw that stomach in 3, 2, 1. Here we go, kicking off round 3. You're doing the swings. Keep that weight up by the pockets and inner thighs. You don't want to be swinging below the knees. Nice job. Squeeze the tush as you stand tall. On the swing, it's the hips that are generating that momentum. The arms are just guiding. Awesome job. Breathing in on the down, breathing out on the up, and 2, 1. Control that weight down. Great work. 3rd round of push-ups. If anything's going on with your shoulders or anything doesn't feel right with the push-ups, you can always go back to holding that plank. Spread those fingers nice and wide, midline nice and strong, and begin. You're welcome to stick with that down on the toes, up on the knees, if that's best. While we're largely using that upper body, you still want to engage that lower body. Flex those thighs, squeeze the tush. Think about your body as a moving plank. And breathe here as you move. Keep that breath rate going. And 30 seconds. There's our rest. Fantastic. We've done side shuffles. We've done grapevines. And now we're going to work our lateral skier step. So you'll be a little bit more stationary. 1 foot steps behind, reaching for the opposite foot. Go ahead and keep that back foot down for the first couple. And if you want to challenge your balance, you can start to lift that back leg off the ground. Really lift up out of the hip. Nice work. Pushing that big toe down to help with that balance and that stability. Whew, great job, making it look smooth. That's it, long spine. Balance yourself out side to side. And when you're ready, now we're gonna switch it up. As mentioned, we're gonna go that behind the back cross crawl. So you can either tap the heel, tap the sole of the foot, or you can literally grab onto the heel. The tap will be a little bit faster. Good job. Kind of lift up as you support on that one leg. Think about lifting up out of the hip and see if you can kind of find that big toe and push through that big toe. Good. 2, 1, and there's our rest. All right, grab a drink. We're going to go through it one more time, and then we'll have a nice cool down stretch. 30 seconds rest from here. All right, final round coming up. Either sticking with the swings or your deadlift. And again, if you're like, I'm done with weightlifting for the day, you could go into a good morning stretch, or you could squat. We did some squats in that basics class today, but we don't have any squatting in this session. All right, 5 seconds, draw that stomach in, standing nice and tall, and begin. So if you're doing the swings, stand it up first, and then you'll get that momentum. Bowing forward slightly, driving the hips. Good job. We do that core activation work in the first part of the session to get the muscles ready so you can do more complex movements safely. 10 seconds left. Looking great. Finishing strong and rest. Good work. Final set of push-ups. If you're reverting to that plank option, you can also do a plank shoulder tap here if you want a little bit more challenge on that plank from the hands. Otherwise, if you're joining me on the push-ups, here we go. Elbows draw in, midline stays tight. Looking straight down at your mat. Watch that you don't lead with that head forward. So the heart leads as you lower down. Nice. Stomach drawn in, so the low back stays nice and neutral. Almost there. And now try to push through that index finger. We talked about the big toe, and now on the push up, you push that index finger and rest. Good job. Coming up for the final time. If you like a previous option better, if you want to stick with that grapevine or something different, you can. Otherwise, we're going to continue to work a little bit of that forward fold, skier's balance. Squeeze those shoulders back, bowing down. Nice work. Good. The movements I lead you through is always recommended. I've had people say before, can I just dance instead of doing jumping jacks and this and that? Is it distracting on the other side? No. I'm just happy to see you all moving. If you need to make adjustments or you want to do something a little bit different, that's wonderful. Less than 10 seconds. And then I'll finish with that, either the behind the back cross crawl or any version you prefer. And take a rest. All right, so here we go, finishing it out. As mentioned, that behind the back cross crawl. Nice. Sometimes we get a little attached that workouts need to be extremely strenuous in order to be beneficial, but really movement is the key to keep our body moving and recovering well in between sessions. 20 seconds left. It was like the 80s and 90s, there's that big slogan of like, no pain, no gain. That's not so much true. That's not accurate. 2, 1, and everybody done. Good job. Give yourself and your peers a round of applause, even if they're imaginary workout buddies today. Grab a drink of water, and then we're going to do a cool down stretch. All right, we'll just start it off with some hip circles. Just loosen up through the hips and low back. We start that cool down. Very good. Go ahead and circle the hips the other way when you're ready. And then after all those push-ups, I'd like to open up the chest. So if you have a wall or a doorway you can use, go ahead and make your way there now. You're going to bring your elbow up to about 90 degrees. I'm going to place it right against the edge of the wall here. Stepping forward, lean into it, feel a nice opening through your chest, and then turn your body away. You're rotating out and away. Good job. Breathe here. If you'd like to circle that outstretched arm, I like to go backwards circles, kind of encouraging that opening of the chest, drawing that shoulder back and down. And rest. Good job. Coming off the wall and then turn it around. Same thing other side. Again, elbow up at 90. Anchor it against the wall or a doorway. Stepping forward, lean into it, and then a gentle rotation. Very nice. If you'd like to add those arm circles, you know, follow the hand with the gaze. Breathing in as you reach in front of the body, and then breathing out as you circle back. And resting there. Good job. You can stay at the wall and place your hands there. I'm going to show you off the bed, placing the hands about chest or shoulder height, and we're going to walk the feet back, draw that stomach in, and then lower that head down between the arms. From here, I start with a soft bend in the knees, And then just ever so gently, I can look to extend those knees without hyperextending them, just getting a little bit more stretch in those hamstrings, bending them back in gently, and then just giving a little bit of some extension to extend them back. Good. And when you're ready, making your way up from that. And then we're going to finish down on the mat. We're going to be doing our down dog into pigeon with our seated twist. All righty. So walking yourself down, getting ready for that down dog position. If you want to start on the knees, check in with the hands. Spread those fingers as wide as you can, open up to the palms. And now turn the toes under, raise the hips up, and just gently rocking forward and back here. We're going to start with the right leg. You're going to take the right leg. You're going to extend that leg up towards the ceiling or sky, point the toe, and then glide the leg forward. Looking to make your way into pigeon best you can. Square those hips and shoulders. Very nice. We want to be able to stretch our body without overstretching. If you do want to come down lower, you can come onto the forearms. Sliding that outer hip to open. If you are down the forearms, making your way back up onto the hands, outstretched arms. And then when you're ready, we're going to sit onto the right hip and go ahead and swing your left leg around for a seated twist. Sit up nice and tall, hugging the leg in. And breathe here. There's many different variations of seated twist, so if you have one that you prefer, feel free. I'm going to work that version where I'm going to push that elbow against that other thigh, and I'm going to curl the hand around behind me, turning that head and neck. And let's breathe between 3 and 5 times to finish out this side. Trying to lengthen your spine on that inhale, and then just a little bit more rotation on the exhale. Keep that neck drawn in, stay nice and long for the head and neck, and then turn your eyes as well, like you're trying to see how far you can look over that left shoulder. Good. When you're ready, gently unwind. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So this should be your left leg that you're hugging in. That's going to be the leg that leads the way on that down dog. All right. Position those hands once again, trying to make like an L shape out of your index finger and your thumb. Turn the toes under, raise those hips up. Make sure we get a little calf stretch on this version of down dog, pedaling out for those heels. Those heels down one at a time. Good, and then when you're ready, the left leg, point the toe, extend that hip, reaching up towards the ceiling or sky. Wonderful, and then glide it forward. Square those hips and shoulders. Coming into pigeon. Glad Moose didn't decide to bark the whole time at us. He's passed out here on the floor now. He's got his girlfriend, her name's Rain, little Aussie that lives here. Coming down onto your forearms if you'd like, coming a little bit deeper. Spend about another 20 seconds in this stretch. And then we'll come into that seated twist. All righty, coming back up onto the arms if you were bowing forward, and then sitting onto that left side of the hip as you swing your right leg around. Hug that leg in. Start by kind of opening up to that glute before you go too deep into that twist. And as you feel ready, starting to go a little bit deeper. So I'm going to work that elbow around, walk that other hand behind me. Remember to sit up as tall as you can, and then rotate the head and neck as well, looking over that shoulder. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. 3 to 5 more breaths here. And when you're ready, gradually unwind and go ahead and come down onto your back. Find a little bit, hugging those legs in, returning to that double knee to chest. And then a little bit of what I like to call the frog stretch. Knees wide, grab your feet or ankles, and then pull the heels in towards your groin. So it's kind of like a butterfly stretch, but lying on your back, pushing your knees out. You pull the feet in. Very good. And then we'll go from that frog stretch into a little bit of a happy baby. Slide the hands onto the outer shins, or you can reach the bottoms of the feet, and then you want to work those elbows on those inner knees, and you can just let yourself rock a little bit side to side. Get a nice opening for the inner thighs, and try to loosen up that low back. Fantastic. Very good. When you're ready, anything you want to add in? Otherwise, we'll just go into our little stretch, Armstrong stretch. We're going to extend the arms overhead, straighten the legs out on the ground. And now just breathe here. Imagine someone's trying to stretch your body from the tips of your fingers to the soles of your feet. And when you're ready, you can just gently circle the arms down to the sides. I invite you to bring one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the heart. We're just going to take a minute. Be still. Feel your body breathe. We get so caught up into the busyness of our world. I find that whether we're working, on vacation, or retired, it seems like there's always something to do, always something to worry about. Try to take a moment to be still. When we come into stillness, it's a great time to express a little gratitude, say a little prayer, and just remember to be kind, not just to others, but first be kind to yourself. Be kind to your body, be kind to the world, and hopefully you'll get that back as well. All right, friends, thanks for moving with me today, and I look forward to moving with you next time. Stay hydrated, and remember, life's meant to be enjoyed.